Hello, everybody. I've been watching some videos. There's about 4 or 5 people out there that have videos talking about Paul McCartney's high ticket prices for his tour 2025. And I'm going to weigh in on this and offer my 2.5 cents because I got to tell you, people, every single time Paul McCartney tours, it's always the same song and dance from the fans and the critics. Same thing all the time. Wash, rinse, and repeat over and over again. Wash, rinse, repeat. The same cycle over and over again. Oh, it's too high. Why does Paul do this? He doesn't need the money. And you get other people saying it's not Paul's fault. Paul's not the one that picks the prices. He doesn't choose the prices. It's the company that does. And you got to understand too, Paul has to take care of other people. There's the crew, other people working on the tour, other people got to get paid. But it's the same thing all the time. Now, I'm not going to this particular tour because it just so happens there are no venues near me. And I'm not going to travel. I'm not going to be taking airfare anywhere. I'm not going to be going into hotels in some other state or God knows where. I'm not doing it. Okay. If Paul tours in 2026, then I'll come back and tell you what I think back then, if it happens, if he's close to where I am. Okay. But I'm not going to go somewhere out of my way for this. But anyway, so I have no dog in this fight. I want you to know. I just get tired of the grumbling and people coming up with these astronomical figures that supposedly Paul wants for his tickets. Now, first of all, I've heard some outrageous numbers. I've heard people say that some of these prices are, if you want a front row seat right in the front, the best seat in the house, you have to pay $45,000. I've also heard the number $17,000 thrown about here for good seats up in the choice area close. Okay, now look, one thing they fail to tell you, or maybe they more likely they don't realize themselves. Not that they didn't tell you, but they don't know even. These are really third-party outfits. This is not the main person, the company that's responsible and the one that's permitted, chosen to sell the tickets. That would be Ticketmaster. That's the one. But they go to these third-party units and outfits that are jacking up prices, and that's where you're getting your $45,000 from. That's where you're getting your $17,000 from. Okay, but Ticketmaster, from people I know who tried, they said that those aren't the prices. Now I was told that I had two guys tell me two different things. That the best seats up front were, one guy said about $2,200, another guy said around $4,000. So whether it's 2,000 or 4,000, that's not small potatoes. That's big money, but it's not $45,000 or 17,000. I mean, that's okay. It's not that bad for compared to that. That's the first thing. That's the real price. Now we're going to talk about nosebleeds up on Mars. Okay, all the way in the back. Some people I've heard say that it's like $1,000 to go even in the nosebleed seats way up high. Well, from what I'm hearing, some of them are not 1,000, but more like 700, close to 800. That's, I gotta say, no matter how you look at it, that's a terrible price for those kind of seats. $700-800. But wait a minute. Here's the thing. I know a couple of people, two people that got tickets, 3 tickets amongst them. One guy is going to 2 shows. One guy is going to only 1 show. First guy, he got a seat for $271, and that's for 1 show. And the second show was around $260. The third guy got a seat also, $260. So how did these guys manage to do it? Do they have special talents? Are they magicians? Do they know certain people? No. They just looked. They went to Ticketmaster. They tried. They looked all around, and they found seats for under $300. So it can be done. This business that you got to spend $45,000, $17,000, $1,000. No, not necessarily so, folks. Not necessarily. Okay. Where is he sitting? Well, I don't know where the one guy is, but one of my friends who I talked to said that it's dead center, a level up from the ground. So it's probably it's a distance. It's farther back, one level up, not all the way up there to the moon, but like one level up straight. I'll take that. You know, I'm trying to just say, people, that a lot of these rumors are greatly exaggerated of these prices. And while it's true that even with the Ticketmaster price listing, they can be pretty high and not everybody can afford it, you have to remember this is not 1976. A lot of times you hear people say, I saw Paul in 1976. I almost said 1776. I saw Paul in 76 and it was like, $15, $20. Good. It's not 1976 anymore, folks. It's not, 1990. It's not 2013. It's not even 2022 anymore. It is 2025. Things are going to go up for inflation. That's always the way of the world. It's not like, things go up. And you got to be prepared to spend at least $300. You get as low as you can within your range of where you're sitting and everything. But don't think you have to be a millionaire to go to this show, because you don't. Okay? And I've maintained that all along. Because I've seen Paul from 1989 all the way as recently as 3 years ago in 2022. Okay? And I never remember spending anywhere near, maybe 275. I can't remember. The last time was 3 years ago. I don't remember what I spent, but I know it wasn't $400. I know it wasn't $500. I know it wasn't $900 for a seat. Might have been 275, 250, something like that, under three, maybe three. I don't know. But what I'm telling you is, if you want to go and make sure you look at the right place. If you're going to go to third-party sellers, well, they can do whatever they want. And that's where a lot of these reports, I think, may be coming in from. Okay. All right. So take this for what it's worth.